Welcome to Fireteam Chat, IGN's Destiny show. Fran, you're joining me today.
Hey, everybody.
Jose is joining me yet again.
Yeah.
We have some exciting stuff to talk about today. Trials of Osiris is here. It's happening right now as we record this. You guys going to play this weekend? We'll talk about that in a second. We want to talk about the Halloween event and why it was fantastic. And we're also going to talk about the new hidden challenges that are coming to the raid, which is a really interesting topic. Let's open up with something that's currently taking place. It started earlier in the week, but the Festival of the Lost.
Mm-hmm.
So this was an event where they decked out the tower and all Halloween stuff. Yeah, all the characters are wearing masks. What did you guys think of the event? Oh, you got a few quests. Also, you got a quest to get candy from around the tower.
So I've only done a little bit of it.
Yeah.
I mean, Destin, you might be the most qualified. I don't know how much. Yeah.
He is.
Why don't you tell us what you thought? I saw you getting a lot of candy.
Yeah, I got a candy. There were 3 new dance emotes that you could buy.
There was no rage tied to that sentence. I just want to say.
Did you hear him like he stumbled over himself like with the silver?
He wasn't upset about it.
He has silver madness, everybody.
That's cool. IGN paid $40 for me to get the emotes, so whatever.
But yeah,
you did the thriller like no one else.
So we made a thriller video where a bunch of other people who had it, and we kind of coordinated a dance. That was pretty fun.
It was really well done.
Yeah, I enjoyed doing that.
But what was the point of the Festival of the Lost? Because it looks awesome.
Yeah.
Can you actually gain some? Can you get ahead of anybody by participating?
Not really. You just kind of get these really cool masks, like Mass of Skolas, Mass of Eris, Mass of the Cryptarch.
Completely cosmetic.
Yeah, and the only issue some people had with it, myself included, is I couldn't get the mask that I needed after
Which one did you need?
spending $40 real cash.
Jeez.
I never got the mask that I needed.
What was the mask that you needed?
IGN gracefully spent $40.
My budget, by the way.
Yeah, his budget.
Nice job.
And,
wait, what mask were you trying to get?
Cryptarch. I never got Cryptarch, and you need it. It's
Which Cryptarch?
needed. Just
Rahul, the main Cryptarch.
Yeah, the Cryptarch. Yeah.
And the oldest troll of the two.
Yeah. And I never got it as a drop, so I can't finish the last Festival of the Lost one. I didn't get that one. I didn't get Oryx.
And so for clarity here, right, you get one package that they give you as part of this, right? You get one from Tess, right?
Yes, you do.
And so the point is
then you get an empty bag of candy, and you can farm kills to get more. So there is a way to do it for free.
Exactly.
And I have done it, but I've gotten 30 Eris masks, and
so
it's totally random.
A combination of things was happening. He was filling his candy bag to get more of these little drops, and you get a mask with it. And he was buying with silver to just skip ahead to the front of the line to get the masks.
Yeah.
And so that's how it works. There was one small side effect which you could take advantage of, is some of the masks had a perk to like upgrade scout rifles at a faster rate or things like that.
Wait, no, not the Halloween masks.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
No, they did not.
All right, now I feel like an idiot.
Before we get into face-off, I do want to say that I think the thing we haven't addressed is, this is a very cool way to celebrate at least something that we know in North America. Maybe on a global scale, like some countries don't celebrate Halloween, but I do appreciate...
Good point.
And this is something we talked about last week, which was that the tower doesn't always feel very social. This added a layer of social for me that I really enjoyed, where we're all sort of participating in this event.
So
everybody passing through isn't just a person passing through, because you look at their mask and go, oh, that's cool. I like that. I want to get that one.
Masks aside, like the getting them all for the quests, I thought this was a ton of fun.
Nice.
This was really cool. The tower looked awesome. Everybody was like dressing up. People were dressing up as Petra, and then standing next to Petra.
That's funny.
so like Metzler and stuff.
Yeah, like right now I can go as Zur
and the mask.
People were dressing up as Crota and doing the boo emote at Eris.
Actually, though, I am just gonna,
that's amazing.
Actually, this is great. I'm just gonna go stand in the tower with my Zur mask on, and my black clothing. I might be able to fool.
Dress up as the Cryptarch. What's the most trolly emote, and just do that.
Oh yeah. On the anguish emote. Yeah.
But no, this really does add a layer of. I really hope that like Thanksgiving or Christmas, or there are other holidays in mind, that they're going to do this. This reminds me a lot of, I was a big player of Phantasy Star Online, and they had a thing like that where like you would show up, and I think if it was Christmas, you'd see like the social space decked out, and that's cool. Like that's stuff that makes the game more fun, and tying the quest to it was a really smart idea. And even the masks themselves, like you're talking about how they resemble different characters in the game. They're also very funny. They look like these paper mache creations. Bungie actually released how to make some of them, like papercraft style.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's
there's
really
a contest
cool.
going on.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Like, I think it's a really smart way to do it.
So I'm staring at my phone because
he's trying to look at it.
You're both
I did
racing.
make the mistake, which is it's not the mask. There's items that you're getting the drops.
Yes.
That are allowing those types of perks I'm talking
Correct.
about.
Yeah,
So
you can farm like Glimmer. You get I forgot about the candy.
Yeah.
You get all sorts of candy like chocolate strange coins and stuff like that.
Consumables, and that's I'm sorry, they have candy consumables. You get it. That was where you could have some of these like perks that I was talking about.
Yeah,
sorry about that.
Yeah, that's correct.
Idiots! Don't you play this game?
People still play this game. No,
Number one comment, son of a.
Yeah.
Okay. We're not cutting it out though. We're honest here on Fireteam Chat.
It's all right. We all make mistakes once in a while. I've definitely made my share fair.
We sure do.
Like I just did. There we go.
It's no big deal.
Yeah, so I love this event. This is something I wanted to see in the game. Like when it launched, I was like, "Are you going to do holiday themed events?" And they were like when we were doing IGN first, way back.
When Halloween came and went, they had those masks, the jack-o'-lantern thing.
Those aren't really. Those were just like they did 2 or 3 consumables for Halloween themed things.
I love the jack-o'-lanterns back, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Jack-o'-lantern's cool.
The jack-o'-lantern, it is so fun to use. And just like the screeches and the haunting sounds is scary.
The sounds in the tower chains,
I've told the story last year when I, there's only a couple of them that you got from last year, and now you can get more of them, which is awesome. But I put one on and just had forgotten how it worked. I had my volume up, and like I thought there was like bats and like crazy stuff outside my house just because of where my speakers are at or next
somebody
to
being murdered.
Windows.
It
freaked me out.
There's a Wilhelm scream too. It's like
and I kept
in the
telling
background.
I was playing with.
You like call the police?
No, but I was like, hold on, guys, hold on, and I was like, what is going on out there? and then it occurred to me. I muted the TV, I think, and then it all went away. I was like, oh my goodness. It was just the way they did the background stuff. So it's really cool.
Friends I think somebody's being injured outside my apartment building.
Yeah, I was like, who's getting
screaming?
murdered next door? Whatever, I'm playing Destiny. But anyway, the jack-o'-lanterns are really cool, actually, so get them while you can.
So I hope that the lesson learned here is not just that this is cool, but then when Christmas rolls around, if you're going to do another surprise gift, don't let it just be something I could have bought at the Vanguard. Like, make it something cool.
Yeah.
Keep it cosmetic, I think. Like, I don't think you have to necessarily tie this to a weapon that you're going to use outside of this week. And it ends next week, so people still have time. You're not out of time yet if you haven't done it yet.
They put a lot of work into this. I think it makes sense. Like, leave the tower. We all leave the jack-o'-lantern out till it rots, so why don't you do it too?
The only thing I don't like, the only gripe I had was that the masks tied to the quests were random drops. So you had to like keep farming masks. No. I don't necessarily think you should have a quest stuck in your inventory that you're unable to complete because you didn't get a random drop.
Right. Okay.
That was my only complaint. But otherwise, I love this event.
Think the
it was really fun.
Sorry, I think the reward too of getting a legendary at the end of it, if you got a rare, was the only way to keep the mask was smart because it gave you an avenue to, if you did the work and you got lucky, you got the mask you wanted and you can keep it. Versus,
I'm keeping
you
all
could also,
the masks.
well, you paid the $40, but I think that's a really smart way to take this whole idea of cosmetic items, where like some you're going to work for and you're going to be able to achieve, and others, like you can fast track it and you can pay for it, but it is purely cosmetic. It is not changing the game in a way that's going to hurt your enjoyment of it.
They did a really good job with it. I think the only thing for next time I would like to see is that the Vanguards dress up as each other in different ways.
Oh yeah. The speaker dressed up as the ball.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
That is true.
And Cade dressed up as Eris.
Oh, he did act. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I totally just played this the other day. He did. All right. Not an original idea. They actually did do it.
That's really clever.
The Cryptarch's dressed up as an Engram.
Yeah, that's
that
right.
one's pretty good.
I forgot actually that they did it. I just played it the other day, and like there was so much decoration actually that it skipped my mind.
Yeah, really adds life. It's really smart.
It was really funny.
That's cool.
Let's talk about something happening currently at this moment. You can play Trials of Osiris Year 2. Ooh. We have not because we ran in to record this podcast really quick.
The things that we do.
So I thought that we would talk a little bit about Year 1 and some things that we learned while playing Trials of Osiris during Year 1.
Well, can we talk about the small changes? Actually?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Go ahead.
So they're minor, but you can now finish Crucible bounties in Trials, and also you can earn legendary marks. You can pick up is it bounties from Brother Vance? I think. Let me double check.
Is it?
Yeah. But you can
legendary
marks
through
in there,
bounties,
which is great. You know, they now have thought through to make sure you're not like having to bounce between the two. You can just stay in trials and do your Crucible stuff, which is really encouraging. They're also with the matchmaking saying they're balancing it even more.
Yeah,
it's more challenging to get to the lighthouse.
You're going to be in your same tier skill level. You know, that's what they say.
Yeah,
like
I mean, matchmaking is complicated, and you know, of who's online and how to find people and how long it takes to match you up. But they said they've improved it, so we'll see. But either way, the bugs are gone supposedly, and the now delayed trials is here for this weekend. So I can't wait. I think if it's dropping, 310s and stuff, it's got to, right?
It's dropping hard mode level gear.
Yeah, exactly.
From the lighthouse, from 9 wins.
Is huge because our currency has been so limited to just the raid right now.
Yeah.
So the fact that I now can get into trials as a solution is just awesome and really exciting.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like they put some thought into the lighthouse and how the matchmaking was not right, where like teams that were really good would win and teams that weren't really good would lose. And granted, that's the natural occurrence of the way it should work. But teams that are really good that kept winning should be teamed up and matched up against teams that were also very good.
Yeah.
And that honestly was kind of, I don't want to call it a problem because I don't think it was. Like I think it gave everyone a chance to go to the lighthouse, and I do think the lighthouse is a cool thing.
It's awesome.
But the lighthouse at the same time should be this reward that, I mean, I hate to say this, but should be kind of elite. It should be kind of like, hey, you earned this through like some harrowing trials. And it sounds like year one, that wasn't the case.
Oh, it was for me, definitely. Yeah. Trials was like one of my favorite experiences of year one. It is a fantastic concept that your light matters and it's 3v3,
and there's a record.
And there's a record. There's like a scorecard. It's really intense. Like we would talk about it on the show about like how into it we would get when we were trying to like get those 9 wins.
Ruins friendships.
Yeah, like it's serious. It's like, why are you running out there? Yeah. This is not normal Crucible. Move back. Stick with the team.
And then people wonder why it's not matchmade.
Yes. Yeah.
It's that right there. What you just said.
Yeah, that one you need a fire team. Do not go in randos. You definitely need to be communicating. It's really important.
Yeah, use the IGN group on Bungie is very active, as well as obviously LFG and all that. It's worth finding someone who's going to help. And also, if you're part of our Fireteam Chat podcast group on Facebook, which you can join, check it out. It's not run by us.
Carry Fran to the lighthouse. Carry him to victory.
I'm hopping in any backpack I can find.
A few of the obvious things that I learned about year one is come up with a strategy. Learn the areas. Like Burning Shrine, if you're outside, that's the better spot that you want to be in typically. Like just know how to call out certain areas. This is just multiplayer strategy 101, basically. But all that stuff's really important. Be communicating with your team. Don't just be in your team and silent. Call out if you need help because you can get revived.
And watch out for those warlocks.
And the warlocks are a little scary.
Self-res.
Yeah, self-res messes with you.
Yeah.
One thing I learned, I knew this going into trials because I had played it earlier, but your discipline, intellect, and strength are superior. They're incredibly important.
Which would you put the emphasis on? Is it still intellect and discipline?
It depends on how you play. It depends on how you play. Like with my Titan, last year I was able to rock Armamentarium with maxed out discipline, so I had those grenades ready to go, right? I ran Striker, and it worked out pretty well for me because like you can nail them on heavy, like with a good super, etc. This year with Hammer, it kind of changes the game because that's going to be your best
Sunbreakers.
bet. I know. It's going to be really tricky.
See those things getting chucked across the maps.
I think it's going to be a lot of Titans and a lot of Warlocks. I think those are going to be 2 classes. I mean, so Night Stalker isn't great, especially with the current adjustment to it. I think we're going to see a lot of gunslingers and blade dancers.
Probably still, yeah.
Yeah, for me, I think that the Hunter got the best in year 2, got the best like upgrade in year 2 because it's still feasible as a attack, right? And then there's also blade dancer and gunslinger, which are also still usable. However, with Titan, sure you have Titan Smash, but people aren't grouping up as much anymore because of how their supers work. They kind of go out. Like Warlocks are going out with their electricity and everything.
Yeah, but see, I won't. I mean, I'll stick with Sunsinger to your point because like the res is just so important. Like you're not going to want to get close with electricity. And the other thing is you get caught in that mode. Yeah, so you're screwed.
If somebody
just
backs up,
duck.
it's tough.
Well, even if you use it and get one person, you're kind of a sitting duck. Like float floating away, and there's a snipe on you, like it's possible that it's a bad move.
Yeah, you can't sprint. Yeah, when you pop Palpatine. You can't.
That being said, if you think you can get into a group and nuke 3 people, just go in.
People do stay close together, and you are a little bit of a tank in that mode. You know, like your armor's pretty high.
Yeah. No. Yeah. If they get caught, it'll be interesting to see how it's used. I'm actually more interested to see what gear people are using. If the people who ran Iron Banner are going to be pretty rewarded. I don't know how you feel about that. Like if you got really good drops, that will be useful. But I mean, the sniper from the raid is awesome. So I have a feeling that Defiance of Yasmin is really going to get rocked pretty hard at first. But I'm curious what the primary of choice, right? Like what's it going to be? Is it now going to be like auto rifles or something? I doubt it. I think scouts.
Yeah, I kind of wish that info was public, but it's not.
I actually think we're now going to see some of the an Amalon or a Haka or whatever, a Suros scout or whatever it is, that will maybe start appearing as like, oh, did you get that from the gunsmith because it's great for trials? Maybe.
Well, I wonder what the shotgun nerf has done to PvP too, and if that has changed.
Well, they only took away shot package. I mean, having played a bit of PvP since then, shotguns are still lethal. Like you still get a shotgun with good range. You're gonna be able to do work. Invective is really great year 2. Nice. Like it has decent range in that auto fire. It's a pretty good shotgun. So it was my favorite shotgun in year 1. It's what I started in PvP with.
Don't you have a chaperone? I'm just kidding. Did you get one?
I do. Yeah.
Is it? Yeah. Okay. Is it inferior? Invective is still the better choice?
I'd have to look at the statistics. I don't have them in front of me.
Yeah, no worries.
Sniper rifle, everybody was using 1,000-yard stare. I prefer extra solar. I like the rate of fire, like the increased rate of fire.
What you get from Dead Orbit, the best class.
Yeah, that's right.
The best group.
Of course.
At the tower.
Steege advertises a lot. I mean, I'm Dead Orbit too, so.
Yeah. You know what's up.
Disclosure.
Hung jury.
I'm biased. Yeah, hung juries. I was going to bring that up as one of the scouts that would be great to use. But I was actually just thinking of something, which is probably a terrible idea.
Yeah.
But Malice, it's going to give you that damage boost from afar. So, right, like burning down your health, super dangerous, but you're going to get an extra kick off of the scout. I don't know.
Probably like 2 to 3 rounds would drop somebody, but it's a risk reward.
It really is because you could kill yourself. I'm totally going to do that. And then
what if you had two people on res duty, one person on Touch of Malice?
Oh my goodness!
Just peppering the team, with that one round.
We'll have to see how much.
Touch of Malice ends up the new Thorn. I'm done. Like,
I don't think it will. Having used it in multiplayer, it's still tricky. It doesn't have the range necessary to be viable.
That's what I was going to say. Ultimately, it's not going to be as good as others.
I haven't used it in Iron Banner or Trials, so it could be interesting.
The point is, it could be fun to have a little extra damage kick, like someone who could get good at it and be in like that right zone. But otherwise, I was going to remind people too, if you can get truth, like get it and pick it up. Like you want to switch to that. I think
that was the next question. Are you going to do a rocket launcher, or are you going to do a different weapon or a machine gun?
Oh no, definitely a rocket.
You think?
Always. I mean, truth is pretty amazing with the amount of ammo you get, as well as the tracking and the blast radius. And I mean, it's pretty lethal. It's just you have to be very quick.
But as a Titan, you could rock Taikonaut and use any rocket launcher.
That's true.
You
with the tracking, you mean?
Yeah, with tracking.
That is a really cool perk that it adds.
Isn't Zer selling Taikonaut?
Yeah, he is this week. So it's probably
Titans
a lot of people
alert.
are probably going to use that.
Red alert.
I have the Vanguard Quartermaster tracking rocket Smolder, but I got a tracking perk, so I'll probably use that for now. But it's not high enough level. My highest stuff is like hallowed raid gear.
What about sword?
In Trials?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I've not used the sword in Crucible. Have you? Like,
I've seen people use it and use it well because you have the blocking. You have the blocking. Everybody forgets about that. So you're last on your team. You're waiting to get that res in. You go up there, block, res somebody. Like use it as an defensive weapon as opposed to
that could be interesting. And actually, I do like the sneaky like res with the sword.
Yeah,
it's actually because it's a little more advantageous probably than the shotgun because you got a lot more like broad swipe on that thing.
And you could do the arc thing where it projects an arc bolt.
Yeah, exotic. You mean right?
Yeah.
That will be interesting to see if people get good with the sword. But I think at the end of the day, you're still going to see a lot of Hawkmoon. You're still going to see Thorn. You're still going to.
I don't know if you're. I don't think you'll see Thorn. Because your light level matters. So.
Oh yeah, that's true. Sorry, that's right.
Yeah.
Take that back. Hawkmoon still for sure. And just like you said, like 1,000-yard stare. Like you'll see some simple weapons like that. I think.
It's gonna be
last word. Also,
Red Death, Bad Juju.
Great. I like Last Word.
I don't.
So
I hate that gun.
I know, but some people like are brutal with it. So
yeah, with the pistol nerf, I don't know.
Yeah,
that'll be interesting.
That's true.
I like Hawkmoon for sure. We see that one a lot, and a lot of pulse rifles.
Yeah. Red Death.
Yeah. Red Death. That's what I rock.
Instead of speculating, we should go and play it. And
you're right.
And then, maybe we should have a guest on next week who's like been playing in there for 80 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
We're gonna pull off that that we may not be able to. So that'd be cool.
Moving on to our final topic. The raid is getting hidden challenges. Luke Smith tweeted this out on Twitter. Apparently, these are going to be challenges where you're supposed to try and take out a boss a certain way, and then you get a reward for doing that. Now, nothing's been really clarified, and they're working on what those challenges entail exactly.
But not a lot of details, just sort of a little...
Little tease. They're kind of teasing us about it, but that's the next big thing coming to Destiny that we know about. I thought that I would ask you guys what you think the challenges will be. I could start.
Please.
So Golgoroth, there's so many different methods to take out Golgoroth, right? It's like the one orb strategy. You got the two gaze pullers that rotate around the thing. Mm-hmm. I think that is definitely going to be one of them. Like, have two gaze pullers, or you only shoot one orb at a time. I
mean, the one orb strategy, if done right, is so easy. Though I wonder if the thinking behind these challenges is to make players attempt bosses in ways they wouldn't have.
Yeah.
I kind of think maybe that's going to be the direction.
How else could you kill that character?
Oh, I don't know. Like, I'm definitely not the
in hard.
The best person to ask, but I do think that if I was going to introduce a challenge, I would try to get people out of their ordinary rhythm, because I feel like they promised that with hard mode and they didn't really deliver on it. Like, I felt like hard raid, if I can kind of tie that into this conversation, was
they're in the hard
cool.
raid,
It was cool, but in some ways it was a letdown, because some of it just didn't feel that different. Like, I almost wish they hadn't written that statement on the BNet post the week before, the week that thing came out, because expectations went through the roof because of that thing. It's like, oh, we know you have your rhythm, so we're going to mess with your timing. And it was like, well, did you? Like, you took away one platform at the ship. Golgoroth, there's a couple changes. War Priest, he shoots a few things that are new at you. But Oryx was probably the biggest change of all changes. I that's what I think is going to be the thinking. Maybe, or maybe it's like, hey, you have to kill Golgoroth in one orb.
Yeah.
Like one.
Yeah, I'm
on hard, maybe. Yeah.
So that's what I'm wondering. Is it going to be strictly stuff from the raid in the raid being used for the challenges, or are they going to do stuff like we've talked about in the past, like whatever, kill them with arc damage, or you can't use snipers, or will they also treat it maybe a bit like Prison did, where there's these perks, or sorry, not the word perks.
I know what you mean. Yeah. Modifiers.
Modifiers. Yeah. So maybe it's stuff like that will sort of somehow be added. But that's the question. How will this stuff exist? That was the first thing I asked, is like, okay, there's challenges. How do I know? Do I have to read like a tweet from Bungie like today? Or is it now in-game being delivered to you from Eris, or who knows? Yeah. Maybe that's it. Like, maybe Eris is going to give you some challenge bounties or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, the minute you said it, that's what went off in my mind, because especially like during the raid, no communication outside of the cryptic messages or some direct like status messages that are given to you. Like, for example, Golgoroth, whoever's standing in the pool and is it poisoned light? I forget the name of it. But basically the thing that's going to explode if that person stays in the pool with the rest of you. Those are very vague, or just timers. Like, they don't really tell you anything direct. For example, think of even Crota, when like, or getting into the vault. It doesn't tell you the bridge is partially this many times built, like this percent done. They don't really do that. So I wonder how they're going to communicate what these challenges are to you.
Yeah, but that's why I do think there's going to be something in the game, because I mean, they're building
like a bounty.
They're building rewards for this.
Yeah.
So, I mean, reasonably you would think that, because take a look at, and so one detail that we should mention is those missing, if you've been on the calcified fragment hunt.
They are tied to it also, you're right.
The last 3 fragments, which have been unknown, and I kind of was wondering if they were part of the hard raid, and they weren't, seemingly. They are going to come from these challenges. So it's something, this is not like a new idea, clearly, that they just decided to throw in. It's been part of the plan. So that's why I think it will be more methodic. If you'll have to pick something up, you'll know what to do, whether it's a quest or whatever, it will be very clear what to do. But I'm just wondering, again, like the types of
makes me wonder too, like, do you put sort of an exotic weapon on a path that someone had to start like doing one of these challenges. Like we talked about this, right? Where sometimes you complete something and you're not quite sure. Like a couple weeks ago, before people knew why you had to do Paradox, no one really knew why you had to do Paradox. It was just this alternate ending, and then the trail will go cold.
Yeah.
So I almost wonder, would that be something to like just nestle in there and say, hey, you could get this thing from Eris now.
There's still more coming, obviously, which is good. I mean, that was, I think, a question on our minds when we got done with the hard raid. It was sort of like, okay, now what? Well, we knew Trials was coming, obviously. But there's still a few things out there that they have planned. But, you know, I keep bringing this up now, which is like, we're in a weird situation where before we knew Dark Below was coming. That was part of the plan. They even talked about what's after. Now, not so much. They're not talking about it yet. I think PSX actually is my guess, is where we're going to hear about it. I think I mentioned this last week. I have no idea, no inside information, but I'm like, it seems like a good time. December, right after the holidays, right before Christmas. They'll probably have released these challenges by then, and so we'll be in a position where the point is we'll have something to look forward to with the next DLC. I hope, because when is it? You know, it's like, I have no idea.
I don't know. Part of me thinks that the rumors are true.
April or May.
This thing is not. There is no sort of DLC in the works, and instead,
I think there is.
They're just flipping switches every couple of weeks or months, saying, "Hey, this thing's on now. This thing's on now. This other thing that you didn't know about that's been sitting in the game for a while, for a couple of updates now, is now live."
Could be, but they need something significant is the point, right? Like these challenges in the raid will be fun, and Trials is fun, but we are going to get to the point where it's like, okay, now what? I need a few more weapons. I need some more gear, whatever it is. And it's a long wait for Destiny 2 if it's true that it's next year. We talked about that last week, so there's got to be something in between that's significant.
Sorry, guys. While you were discussing, I was just kind of looking up the earlier topic about Trials. It looks like there's some new bounties going on right now. Saying, that's really interesting.
So Brother Vance has bounties.
He has bounties that you can complete and turn in. And I haven't seen anybody go 9-0 yet. So probably going to take a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
really
it's only been an hour. But it's coming soon to a stream near you, I'm sure.
Yeah, very, very soon.
It's going to be fun.
By the time this goes up, it will have happened probably.
Really excited about the hard raid and the new challenges. I think it's going to be. I like that they're continuing to do this. They're kind of slowly giving you something new every week. Like this week it's Halloween. Maybe next week or the week after it's the hard raid challenges.
I think it's great Trials got delayed. To me, it shows like...
they needed to do that because of the glitch.
I know, but I think it's... Like, I could wait. I know, but between Iron Banner and people were still getting into it.
There was too much that weekend. They needed to separate it.
There's so many quests. I actually I understand why they put it out there. For me and any reasonable person with like a full-time job or a family or whatever it is, that first raid even came too fast for me.
Oh, yeah.
It's weird because it's one of the most important parts, and for me to be sitting here saying, like, just give me a moment. I actually think it would have been beneficial for the community because, and we should save this topic for another time, it's very easy to get the raid ruined for you, and it's very hard to find groups of players, so you create a situation where all of a sudden 3 of your group went off and did it, and you couldn't, now you're like, crap.
I think they released it at a really good time, personally, because...
The Tuesday after, or the... Friday after release. It was too soon, right?
Was it the Friday? I thought it was.
It was the Friday after release. I remember only because I convinced Dan to hold the review till Monday because I wanted to play the raid, and we didn't play it till Sunday. And
I kind of liked it. So you were kind of working through all this content. Then you had this big event that all the hardcore players were really excited about, and I don't think they should have delayed the raid.
Well, you're not addressing my point. I got left out, and it was harder to find the raid. I couldn't play with you. You already did it. Jose already did it.
Well, I mean, we could do it again.
That depends on your friends too. Like right now,
you have crappy friends. No, just kidding.
No. Ouch. Well, you should have talked to me. But I have. Sorry, this will just be quick. I promise.
It's fine.
I have friends on Xbox One who are playing the raid for the first time on normal, and I'm part of the team. I've done the raid like 5-6 times, but I am making sure to never say a thing.
Right.
And just kind of help them along.
That's what's important.
And funny enough, just as a funny aside, on War Priest, they accidentally got the what's the buff you need to kill the War Priest? No, they basically got the buff without knowing the sequence, and it was just like, wait, what?
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that could happen.
Like, how did that
actually? That could happen. There's only 3 plates, and
that's funny.
But that is funny.
It was hilarious.
When we did it, we had someone in our group, Pastor Panda Musk, if you all know his animations, and, awesome creations. But Panda had already done it, and he was in. And being very quiet. And I said, don't even say any, I don't want to hear any feedback. You know? And so somebody had sort of figured out where to be standing and picked it up super fast in our group. And he was like, holy cow, like our group was stuck on this for like an hour. But anyway, the point is, it was really cool to be able to figure out the raid on your own and whatever. I mean, it's fine that they release it then. For me, I'm just saying I would love. The whole point of this was pacing the stuff out. There's actually a lot to do in Taken King. I think now I see more why Jose gave it a 9. You know, initially, like they're still like, did they fix this? How do they? You know, I have problems with the light level and all
this.
There's
a lot of little gripes.
There's a lot of great stuff in this game. It's a beautiful game. You can see the improvements and care they're taking. But the point is, I think you can stretch it out a bit more. Like this rush to get banner and trials and everything up is for like the super hardcore. But the point is, what are you going to do 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks from now?
I'm glad it's spaced out. Like I'm definitely glad Iron Banner trials are separated.
If anything, I think the one thing they could get better at is maybe putting out there a little earlier for folks. Okay, so here's our plan for the next 4 weeks.
Yeah.
You're going to get a multiplayer thing this week. Like, okay, not right away when a game comes out, you can't do that because you crush the excitement. However, a month from now, a month and a half from now, you can easily sit down and say, okay, we know when the next Iron Banner is going to happen.
Yeah.
We can advertise in a month from now, you will be playing Iron Banner.
Advertise so when it's going to happen, maybe
so
the rewards.
Start prepping your time and you say, okay, I'm going to start working towards that rather than, hey, the week before, next week, Iron Banner. It's like, wait, what? I don't have time. Like, I don't know if I could do this.
I know. It's also, I mean, that's what I'm getting at. It's all the scheduling for this game, figuring it out. That being said, remember, too, that, you know, they don't do it also because of the development schedule. You know, it's like you just don't know. So.
Yeah, things fall behind.
Guys, we've reached the end of our show.
Whoa.
This was a great episode.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, thanks for coming on again.
House party talk.
Yeah, it's coming up. It's sold out.
Yeah. But we will be there. If you're in town in San Francisco and couldn't make it, you know, always double check. I doubt there will be any way to get in to it, but we might go somewhere after, you know, just have a few drinks.
Bring your glow sticks.
It's November 14th.
Yep, November 14th.
Yeah.
And also, as another teaser, I mentioned last week that stop.
While you're talking, this
so
is
much louder than we're hearing. You got to be way back here.
Keep going.
Okay. So next week, we're doing something that I'm not going to mention yet, but it should be a cool viewing experience.
Are you teasing?
Again,
that's what this was.
It's a buzz campaign. It's something I had an idea for a long time ago on how to view stuff. Damn, I hate this. It's so bad, Jose. Anyway, it should be really cool. So more soon, but the next Fireteam chat should be in this experience, not Fireteam chat.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us, guys, and thank you, the listener/viewer, for joining us on the show. And until next time, Guardians out.
Yeah, Jose, we love it.